right, everybody, welcome back on a Tuesday. Let's get right to it. A lot to talk about. Many market events, Bitcoin, what have you, everything coming together on schedule, or as they say, schedule. And want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. What's going on? Welcome back, stragglers. We're here Tuesday, Thursday, every week, 12:30-ish, and get the updates, get the big harmonic pattern levels. The big news, really, Bitcoin starting to do what it needs to do. So great to see everybody. What's up, David? Talk to you tomorrow, okay? GG, Skiing Rooster, Jaleo, Mr. Ron, everyone else straggling in. What's going on? What are we having for lunch today? I am just getting wrapped up here, getting ready for actually an active afternoon. But I do want to talk about the big deal on Bitcoin, why we need to be focused on this 4-hour time frame going forward, because we're assuming daily, weekly levels of that last pivot are in. And we are really focused on this 4-hour crab that was generated recently, about 2 days ago. We hit that 1618, pulling off of this immediate pattern, that immediate inflection point. And it is something that is maybe a first stop within this climb back to other levels, higher levels. What's the interesting thing to note? That there's T1 generated, turned on reaction, but what happened? We get a yellow dot, meaning that's it. We just have this little reaction, and this is going to be one of the most important things going forward for Bitcoin. Its ability not only to provide small, short reactions, but then to follow through and go higher into these zones as it makes progress. We'll talk about immediate levels. We'll talk about what we can expect going into the next 3-4 weeks. And then focus in on what's the strategy, because a lot of people think Bitcoin's going a lot lower. I am not one of those people. So let's focus on levels. Let's focus on signals, because as we get further and further into this month, and certainly October, I don't know, anybody that's on the internet, it could drive you mad. Everything that's being bantered around. It is by far, I'd have to say, it's the craziest point of the internet that I've experienced since the internet came to be. I don't know how you folks feel, but listen, feel it, feel it, feel the reality of it all, and just kind of stay grounded. It is it's easy to get caught up into it. And I'm definitely one that is, honestly, I'm having to limit my exposure to news and narrative. Look, whatever's going to go down is going to go down. My only interest is the financial markets and keeping that going as much as we can. That's what we all are looking to. So with Bitcoin and what we can expect from here, this immediate 63 should be able to hold. Watching at some of this immediate reaction stuff on the 4-hour time frame, we will know that it's going to head back into the zone. So let's say in the next 24, 48 hours, we find ourselves turning back up above the 50. That's the kind of thing we want to see. We want to see dud reactions at these bearish zones. Okay, and that is not an easy consideration when you're looking at a pattern, and you just might think, oh, that's end all be all. There's a pattern, it's going to go down. And yes, target one is at 60,000, but before that can be considered, we would need some kind of other signal. So Bitcoin is the king. Let's follow the king and see how they want to rule the market, because again, I've said this time and time again, it is a Bitcoin cycle. Don't care what your use case is. It's all about the asset allocation, primarily to Bitcoin. Check that out. Also, check out free 2-week trial to the greatest and only harmonic pattern software out there. HPC at sr-analyst.com is where you get your 14-day free trial. Thursday, I'll give away another 30-day, 60-day trial. So you guys that are looking to get access, go for it. Also, these other platforms, I encourage you to get set up there. Check them out. MetaTrader, really nice. NinjaTrader, a lot of guys doing like the Apex and Top Step are using NinjaTrader, and go for it. And everything begins also at harmonictrader.com. It's all free. That's how I roll. Register now, and then you get to the basic member page. It's all there, all the resources. And again, check out the cheat sheets. Those are always good for reference. Harmonic pattern cheat sheet looks like this. Those are really great little resources. There's several of those. Okay, that's why we do it. We make it super easy for everybody. Back to the charts and back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is really, it is, I think it's something where outside of who's buying what, you don't have any news to go on. You don't really have any kind of fundamental quarterly information, which is interesting because we're coming into one of the most important earnings cycles come October for stocks, as stocks continue to just rage higher. Bitcoin's a different creature. We have to really gauge price action and signals, overbought, oversold levels, and then assess measured possibilities. And this can go for all of your favorite crypto. Certainly, you're playing with fire with some of these lesser known brand new coins. Hey, I just minted Harmonic coin. Jump on in. It's got a Harmonic use case for whatever. I mean, I could say whatever and try to float that out. That is happening. So crypto beware. But I'm really interested in what this does off of these signals. Concrete patterns, levels, things that are verifiably critical going forward that I definitely want to highlight. That is, namely, where'd she go? The shark to 5-0. Here's the shark. Where is my shark? Shark to 5-0, please. Oh, I get this with these data feeds time and time again. There it is. Binance. Big shout out to CZ. Can't wait till he gets out. Invite him over for a drink, I guess, after all that nonsense. But Bitcoin is all about this shark. And what is the shark about? The shark is about an impulsive structure. That's what it is. It is a reactive pattern, especially on the first test, and it has limits. How far should the reaction go? The maximum anticipated reaction is target 1. Doesn't have to go there. But once you get stretched out and then you encounter these opposite bullish counter HSI signals, meaning price action was thrown down, but it couldn't reach the target, and we are trying to stabilize more like 54K than anything else. Okay, you have to start to say, this thing might be losing its mojo. If I wanted to consider this a bearish, any kind of a significant bearish end-all be-all pattern, it's running out of time. How much time? Well, 30 bars. Why 30 bars? I know some of you have heard this before. It's always great to reinforce concepts. The 30 bar is related to from pattern completion, project it right. Okay, 30 bars is next week. 30 bars is related to the central limit theorem. It's just a statistical concept that if you're going to analyze any data, and that's what trading's all about, it's about data, that the minimum sample size is 30 bars. So within that 30 points of data, that's where you can begin to expect natural and normal distribution of outcome. Okay, kind of a statistical language for just saying it's enough action to where you can make reasonable assumptions. And this reasonable assumption, the question I always ask is, tell me what it's doing within those 30 bars, that 30 bar window. Has it realized type 1? Have we seen anything, other signals that would suggest something that's not happening, like a full-blown corrective move? And we come like next Thursday, absolutely. You'll have to say to yourself, okay, time's up. Time is running out for this shark to realize its full magnitude. And then if we do get back there, well, remember, the big number on the shark, the minimum number is the 886. Okay, and boy, that's 63K. So we're back there bumping against the 63K. The 886 is a minimum move, but the most important aspect of the shark on the Bitcoin setup is just this throwdown 1618. I call it a harmonic impulse wave. Where is that? Because the shark has to have an 886, and then where's the 1618 within that? It's right there. And that's 67.5, 67.6. And I think understanding that gives us reasonable levels to where this could possibly go. And I think we're even on this retest. 67 is a pretty good number to be considering. I just don't think it's, you've had this many opportunities. We also look at some relative measures of indicators. Okay, and that all of that, we know we cracked the 50 last week. Then amplified. That's about the only thing left for the whole scenario to really get accelerating, going higher, get above that 50. So maybe that's another week or two. But for this purpose of really trying to gauge where we say time's up, we have to respect the fact it's breaking above the 50. This is an absolute acceleration zone where we go from the 113 to 50. You might not see a whole lot of price development or price acceleration, more price development, but this is where generally we see the price action can accelerate off of whatever preceded it, much like we saw back here in April. We cracked the 50, and then we had some breakaway action. The trend really started to roll over and get down, and then we started generating some oversold signals. Even that was kind of a dud. Understand that this is what we would call a harmonic dud. It reacted, yes, did the anticipated move after hitting the terminal bar. Even had everything you wanted to see up here, where this potentially could have been, it very well could have been a devastating top for now. There's the terminal bar. There's our dot. There's the arrow. Pattern completion, HSI, initial confirmation, check back. Oh, dot completion, even a secondary test there. This red line is a new line. It's going to be a new tool that I add to the program. It's automated, and it absolutely serves to mark the point where we can expect price acceleration at a minimum, and also make some definitive stop loss considerations. I mean, once that checks back, this bar really serves to be a stop loss marker as much as an acceleration. Meaning you have that check back and you run that line gets generated, within the whole zone, which has been always my goal. We can draw patterns, wedges, head and shoulders, whatever you want. But what bar? Like, where's the optimization of the trade? That's always been my goal with harmonic patterns. I mean, one, differentiate the patterns, but two, where's the damn opportunity? Where within that zone and all of these numbers, where can I really be optimizing, minimizing drawdown? Otherwise, you enter early and you get some kind of major overspill and find yourself at a deep deep negative position before them, and going through that long before you even need to place the trade. That's always been my goal, always. So please, for and younger traders and new traders and everybody, welcome, especially new traders. We keep getting steady influx of new traders. Welcome, guys. Again, please get over to, it all starts here at harmonictrader.com, and it's all free, but it is incumbent on you to do the research, do the work, put yourself in front of the screens, learn the framework. Okay, this is a self-directed. You can follow any mentor you want, and I don't even consider myself a mentor. I'm just really just trying to share the knowledge, put it out there for other reasons, because the thing, like 10 years ago, it just got into a whole bunch of these just criminals. I mean, shyster people that really just completely were destroying the integrity of the work. So the best place that I felt we can perfect it and prove it is within the software, and then providing the foundation material for free. With Bitcoin, that has been the surge, I think, and mostly new crypto people are coming in, where you guys, you're all looking for the levels, even with your best use case. We still, even with Bitcoin's, providing hope and all of that goodwill, feel good type stuff that people want to cite, doesn't matter. Okay, what really matters is sizing up within this long-term uptrend where to get in. Some people will just DCA once a month. I'll buy X amount of Bitcoin. We don't need to do that. We just identify oversold situations, bullish patterns, and be a little more strategic in what we do. With Bitcoin currently, okay, the two major levels is this immediate test. Okay, come back. We're at the 64 to 67 level. Makes sense to me, even in a nominal test. And if we're looking at this weekly, we're really close to being able to turn back up and give the full acceleration for amplified, and the fact that this has begun, and it has. But notice, when's the last time this happened? Go back October, almost the same week. And I don't know about you. I find it curious that crypto in the last couple of cycles has mirrored almost to the week, okay, the cyclical turning points, acceleration points. But even with this, and you go back a year ago when we cracked the 50, we were 28, 27K. And then the real acceleration started on the first 3-bar breakout. So we're looking at price actions for some kind of individual price action sign. Bang, you get the signal. Okay, a little bit of a development. That's an important candle. That's an important follow through. But it was all preceded by this. And then, look at this is what I'm talking about with amplified, giving us that final go signal. And we ride it up into the zone. That's how we know. And the other aspect of this, or the way to think about this, is that the character of what has preceded it is about to change. Okay? It is to jump in to a new type of character. I call it a serial continuation, where you start to see price action express what precedes the pattern, the prior oversold signals, and you do a bar over bar march. No 3-bar breakdown either. I mean, that's the 3-bar technique, is a basic technical term, but what it's saying is it's clearing out prior range and starting to take on a new behavior. That's what we're looking for now. Um, I don't know. I posted this chart on Sunday on X, also known as Trigger. And on Trigger, a couple comments are like, easy puppy, slow down. Oh, yeah, you're the pattern guy, da da da. Good luck with that. Okay, no problem. But, time will always tell. And I just feel like I'm going to stick to the levels because that's what's guiding me through and use the targets, and I'll take it in chunks. But we do know, where does this pattern truly fail? Once we crack the hop above 76. But I'm just focused on this level to here, and then tell me what happens. 4 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that. But the door has opened for this at least an immediate retest change to 67. And then we'll see. What do you want to see? Strong price action. Stronger price action, much like we saw here, that blows right through. And then we'll go from there. We know what we're looking for above the hop, and that's much higher levels. Hey, what's up, Mark? Mark is saying that it's hard to see in dark mode. Is that true? Do you guys think it is HPC combo, guys? And everything, really the easy way to do it. Once you guys submit your TradingView username to hpc@sr-analyst.com. Yeah, all of the how-to videos are on here. Go to check out the YouTube library as well. Okay, that's how you get set up. But everything is in the indicators, and you will click on indicators. It will be on the invite only, and it is. You add the combo HSI arrows. Okay, that's how you go through that. You have any questions? Send an email to me at harmonictrader@gmail.com or get on our Discord. The link is in the description. It definitely feels like the train's coming. And I feel like that this next 3 months, 6 months are going to be fireworks, and there's no doubt that we could even just come back, and we have this other consideration on the daily of a kind of this looping bat pattern where we do have some obstacles to plow through, some serious harmonic challenges, as namely this bat pattern, okay, up there at 70, and even an overspill hop level here. Interestingly enough, we're trying to print a dot. That's a daily dot. What does that mean? Okay, that's just our harmonic strength index dot where we have enough individual development. You actually have a few. You have a few here. We might end up printing 3 dots, no less. Okay, you have one off of that signal. We did not check back that HSI at 65, and that you've got several things here that you need to retest. But that's more like 65. So that's not even official till later today. Okay, and then maybe a couple more dots up here. I just, what it says to me is we have some more work to do, and it's more like 65 to 67. Thanks, Arun. We need to adjust the image quality of the stream back to 1080p. Yeah, that was on Stream Elements. I've had issues, Dustin. I got to talk to you about that to get back to Stream Elements because it hasn't been working, but we'll do it. Regardless, those are the big levels on Bitcoin. We are the predominant number of important considerations are more like on the weekly, and the other kind of weekly deal is we do have a 3-bar range, and dare I say 5-bar range, that off of last week's high, you close above that. That would be a powerful signal. That's a close above 64.2. And then even the 5 bar, you've got this whole rectangular range that's all bunched up with a variety of oversold triggers behind it, looking left, and it's just kind of begging to retest, to resolve this, and then retest this higher zone. A lot is there. We'll come back Thursday. I mean, I'm encouraged because if we really were going to just have like a 1 week, 2 week bounce, we'd already be lower. Notice how even with this candle currently, it's a nominal retest of the prior high. Okay, we haven't even retraced half of the bar. That's strength. I look, a lot of this is based on the framework and complementary strategies and some experience. Knowing that, if something's really weak, it's not going to spend that much time up there. Again, the fact that we're just flirting with last week's close and not reacting or not hitting much resistance, encouraging. It's just that the crypto expectation of all of this stuff seems to really grab people in a way that doesn't even with stocks. So be mindful of that. I just think it's, always stay grounded with that reality check. A couple of things maybe I didn't look at last time that we should jump to before we get any further. Total 1, total 3, others, all of that really critical. I'll get to Ethereum in a second because talk about duds. Ethereum is like the only one that has me, is not doing what really should be doing. But total 1 here, okay, is doing very similar to Bitcoin, obviously. Maybe even a little bit nicer, friendlier. Look, this action on weekly amplified, that's pushing up. Also look at the bar itself. We're green, we're trying to follow through. That could be a tiny little bar, it doesn't matter. Please just get it a close above 2.192, call it 2.2 trillion. And that little bar will carry enormous significance in what's to come. That turns up, okay? Amplified turns up, that begins the process. Where then we go and we can follow through all the way back up to the overbought. That's what you're looking for. I mean, this is what we've been looking for really since July because of that oversold trigger. And I mentioned this a long ago. Time to revisit it. This is an important M formation in the amplified RSI indicator that eventually, and the expectation is that gets retested and usually retested to form a divergence above the prior inflection. So we have an inflection here. Okay, usually what we like, let's say someone's going to come in and outlaw crypto, and I'm extremely bearish. The whole world's going to ban crypto. Let's just joke around for a second. Even with all of that crazy talk, technically the scenario is take out the prior high and be a divergent move up to the 113 and then down, or it could go to the 1618. But whatever that secondary move is, okay, it's higher, obviously, but it would be kind of a last gas move where then the retest comes up, hits, and rolls over. In doing so, and this is something I mentioned back in some of the crypto webinars, in doing so, this final leg would still take you higher. It's kind of like when you have like 4 of the 5 pattern legs, it still needs to form that 5th leg to be a completed pattern, take it to target. All right, so a lot going on here. The place to check that information out, that's called RSI BAM, and go to volume 2 here. Here are the books, guys. If you guys want to do the deep dive, get the books. And you know what? I don't know how much longer I'm going to do books, because boy, the books are like not getting delivered, even domestically, getting returned books. It's I'll leave that for another conversation once I finalize with the publisher what we'll do with an updated volume 3, which will happen. I think it'll be next year. We'll do volume 3, a rewrite. Anyway, total 3, or even total DeFi or others. Total 3, take out Bitcoin and Ethereum, and please do take out Ethereum. We managed to do, it's difficult to see, but we did retest that pattern. We have some oversold confirmation dots, and really it's like dummy dots. And it's designed that way. I'm not just saying, okay, there's one dot, and that dot is just like some random value. There's a lot built into that, but it's to simplify. Okay, within that retest, do you really have something that matches up with the price level? And you do. And total 3 here is probably further along than even Bitcoin or total 1 itself. I mean, we are trending up higher, about to take out some critical consolidation moves. That's a big deal. And then look at where we are with HSI and this bottom a couple of weeks ago. We're at a 68 reading, and just let's rock to 886. That's where real acceleration develops. Even go to the last time it happened back in February. Once we started getting up there and we got to 68 or so, the next 4 or 5 bars were powerful, serial, bar over bar continuations. You're so dang close. You're really, I mean, you're that close. And then the obvious is, yeah, everyone's looking at that downtrend violation. Everyone. With the harmonics behind it, what can we expect? Well, type 2, target 2. You go to 850. You're at 600, 609. Type 1, T1 designation, go to target 1. That's how it works. Finally, final index, others. So this is our T coin. And the others index, which remarkably, much like total 3, has a whole bunch of things that, is there a pattern? Yes. We had this abnormal crab pattern, but we still managed to get back to target 1. Not as clean, but all the things are there where send it back into the zone. I need to see some kind of overbought level before I would even consider that a problem. And then again, it's been an important concept that we've been reinforcing last several weeks, if not months, that once we get above this 50 line, we can see some follow through in price. Here, amplified, beautiful. This week should do it, and then next week should start the march. Daily, looks like that. Okay, and daily, even if we were, again, let's say they're going to take all the crypto out, all in the world. Well, not until we get this kind of a thing. Give me an inflection. And my guess here, my anticipation here is a couple more days will expand this up into the overbought. And that's when you can see things really start to open up. Sure, if we roll over, it'll just mean it'll take more time. A lot going on. I mean, just you're like right there. And notice on the daily, is the last thing, we did have off of the top this bat pattern. We had the bat pattern, and this is again a perfect example of why we use confirmation strategies. There's the bat level, T1, but where's confirmation? Came all the way down here to the hop. Triggered, retested, and now starting to really develop. I don't know where is that? There should be 2 dots there. I don't know why. This is a T1 still, as sloppy as it is. T1 target 1. And we'll just leave that there. Come back to that, see how that shapes up. But I like what's happening. I really do. Had this turned down, for example, even on the daily here, this 50 level on the daily, that's a big deal. You hit the 50 and you were able to bounce off. Let's talk about Ethereum, because that's one that, it structurally disappointed us a few weeks ago and came all the way back down. Now here's the weekly. Ethereum. This is lagging most crypto. Finally, we're trying to get above the 50. I would look at it like this. Can't really expect acceleration till we're above the 50 and that prior point. Also, we're not anywhere close to the 50. So Ethereum's not on my list. I mean, it is, but not something I'm looking for to move first. What's up, Piff Daddy 420? What is type 1 and type 2? Type 1 reaction, type 2 reversal, and all of that is available in, well, the RSI BAM cheat sheet, or get to volume 3. If you want to know what reaction reversal framework is all about, get volume 3. Just kind of catching up with some of the comments. 1 second. Okay, a couple of other noteworthy crypto shaping up, and I think with our buddy CZ, his last days in jail. It just still bothers me that guy's in jail. Of all the people they could have thrown in jail. Here we have a beautiful shark to 5.0. And check out this 50 level. Like that. Also, here you go. That's even further development. Now, this was one of the greatest weekly 5.0 reversals I have seen in a long time. What happened? We had the shark, and as you know, shark to 5.0, complete. Then HSI, the dot. That's where then after the dot forms, okay, we start looking for that move. That's the confirmation. It comes down. Now, I don't think you could have grabbed that at 414. I mean, maybe. But the real level for the return move was up here with the bullish dot. So that was more like 500. Now we're 607. T2, literally, meaning we hit the important 886. That's around 613, 615. Just turned on. Literally just turned on. That's the weekly. But what do we know about the type 2? Usually takes more time. And we do want to see confirmation in the type 2 because there should be enough development. Takes longer, should be enough time for that return move to have a price action that can at least reach overbought level, which we're not close. In fact, we keep accelerating. Same with the amplified. We would look for both of those to trigger. So what? Well, what that means, and the way to read that is it's saying, okay, we did hit the minimum level, but likely we want to go deeper. We want to retest the higher level and prior pivot point. That could be back up this inflection high. So it's not like 615. Maybe it's 645. Maybe it's hop at 737. But we're just at the beginning stages of what that means. That's it. So looking at that, looking for this to eventually come back and get retested is, I think, Binance Coin setting itself up for being potentially one of the stronger of all the mega cap crypto out there. Couple more. We'll tag that. We'll just say Binance Coin for now, 645, 650. Oh, the other thing, interesting little thing about the sharks, that kind of impulsive structure, all right, is they love to come back, do the type 1, and then do an 886 off of whatever that inflection is. That's like 685, 690. Keep an eye on that. Still pointing higher. Okay, you might not understand all of these little intricacies and in between assessments, but the general framework of understanding that this reaction is what's supposed to happen first, that the larger opportunity, like if we were mega bearish on Bitcoin from the harmonic framework, we would not expect that to happen until a full test with confirmation up in this area. So be aware of that, and Binance Coin being a leader and its leader getting out of jail. Oh man, hopefully that guy writes a book. I'd like to read that. Those are the signals to me that would really say something. Now, these are minimum considerations. And I don't want to like jump the gun here and start drawing like massive parabolic waves. I see a lot of that going on where, people they've got their favorite crypto and it's, people are drawing stuff like, yeah, it's down here and it's going to go down, up and down. And then it's going to do that kind of move. I did that on XRP a couple weeks ago and I was like, yeah, I should probably delete that. Maybe we're a little early on that. I really think before we can make any larger assumptions, let's just stick to the immediate zones. The other thing about BNB, again, the 30 bar concept, if this is a reaction, which it is, okay, and we're going to measure it 30 bars to the right, well, there you go. 30 bars. Tell me what happened. Reaction came in within that 30 bar. Now we're back up. That's fairly ideal. Quick reaction within the 30 bar limit. Now we're already retesting. I would be looking for this full retest. Again, that's like early October. Coming into a whole bunch of stuff. Couple more things that have my attention. Maybe things that I haven't really gotten into recently. Let's see here. Where is it? Where's render? Here's render. Render starting to do things at places where it should do it. Render weekly Gartley. And what happened last week was maybe the last check back for now. Okay. T1 with the dot checks back. That was 480. Now we're 612. I would say this is probably getting away from us to 730 minimum. It's that's big development early on. And check this out. We are just about to crack the 50 level here, but we've been out of the 50. Fitty. I'm team Fitty. I'm not team daddy. I've never been. I'm team 50. Right there. So all of that shaping up quite well. And I really, I think it's interesting stuff. What about trash coins? Total degenerate, has no reason to go up. Why would it go up like SHIB or Doge? What about those? Because people are, I don't know. I'm getting I'm getting my head around it all. the meme coins. And the meme coins are, maybe they'll have their day again. Some of them are really presenting some interesting developments. Here's SHIB on the weekly. We got a yellow dot. SHIB at 128 or 128 thousandths of a penny. Now, the only thing I'm going to say about these is that if you go into some kind of parabolic move, like you did back here in March, 1 and 2, and you can't follow through, be aware of that, or you get a counter dot, like there's a bearish dot. That's probably all you're going to get. For a lot of these, that's probably what's going to happen on this next cycle. You might get a 3-week, a 6-week, a 10-week phenomenon, and then rolls back down. I mean, that's just parabolic action. Think of it as like a mosquito growth curve. But I do have to kind of call it as I see it, where, yeah, you have some signals, guys. And if I was looking at SHIB is starting to bust above the 50 line, where price has yet to accelerate yet. And then the final piece is get that above 50. On the daily, like this. This is why you get the software. Because if it's there, it's there. If you have a pattern, that's a signpost of future price action. That's a starting point. You have confirmation. What could I expect off this bat? 241. Okay. 241. Interesting stuff. But that's how I would line up. Use that as a model for all of them, because it's starting to come together. A couple more of those. Super degen. I mean, let's look at the dog of them all. What about Doge? Well, Doge is a almost perfect type 2 at 987. Starting to try to get some development. That's on a daily. Weekly is better, like this. We have another weekly dot, and then you're breaking out above the 50, guys. You have things here that you have not had since the beginning of the year. From there to there. Last thing that needs to happen is that to that. Yeah, the whiff. Dog whiff hat. I mean, if dog whiff hat can go, then pretty much a lot of those other ones can go. Like this. Dog whiff hat, although not as much data. But the daily definitely turned up. I had a bat pattern on that. It's a Gartley. So if you're going to go through the software, okay, make sure you've got a pattern looking left. Check your weekly, and then tell me about the 50 line, because there was the pattern back here. You cracked the 50 back in, I guess it was late August is really where we had some acceleration post dot. And so now you're in development phase. Dare I say acceleration phase on the weekly if we get above this. Get above that 50 level. A lot going on. Couple more. I don't know what that is. What's up, Crypto Hammer? Yeah, you like Floki? Listen, to me, these meme coins, they are the greatest expression of collective FOMO, and it really doesn't have to have a use case. You just need to have buyers and sellers. And if you have buyers and sellers, great. Then you have an opportunity. Floki. You're above the 50 on HSI. It's definitely a starting point. But again, if you get this kind of a thing where you get a big move within a few weeks and it's not sustained, going parabolic, don't be surprised if it goes up and then comes back down. That's They trade like that. It can be, it's kind of frustrating when you get that situation, but it is what it is. I mean, Floki, what's that on Gate.io? Where's the other one? Binance US. Wasn't there, again, there was something daily here. A nice bearish bat. I thought I had nah, I thought I had something there. Not really. What's up, Greg? How are you today? AIOZ, love it. SEI, love it. OP, love it. AIOZ, we talked about last time on Tuesday, and that's one of our, look at S, 48. And this is what I'm talking about in terms of back-to-back pattern levels, confirmation. It's a beautiful type 2 Gartley, right around 39. And then the weeklies like this. Daily type 2 patterns, weekly oversold, right? How long have I been saying that? Long time. All summer. And your looks like, well, last week was the retest, and now we're getting ready to go. I mean, this is ideal. I'm going to repeat myself. So maybe the acceleration recipe, after we get the type 2 pattern, is you get 50 level above HSI like that, and then amplified. Why does that work? It's because we think in M and W's. And so what's so big about an M? Someone last time asked me, Scott, why don't you do other patterns, other wedges, or other, rectangular consolidation boxes? Yeah, I studied it all. But the M's and W's speak to me because once we get 4 of the 5 pieces in development, okay, you get a B point and you get the CD leg to be confirmed, you get this acceleration move where you go from C to D, and it's usually includes an accelerated price move. Important to think about that. I mean, look at the M formation here. On the downside, can you do a connect the dots? Can you do a connect the dots on, say, something like HSI? And this is more a general application, but you come down, you can form, it's kind of like a Gartley structure, but where's the B point breakdown? Right there. It doesn't look like much on the indicator, but look at the point where you go from, consider that a CD leg, you shoot down. Now it's turned up. Same can be said for amplified. And that's, again, something you get a little experience with the software and understand that this is a big deal. If we can register that, we can print 4 of the 5, X, A, B, C, and we get to C to D. This is a big deal. You go from there, from that B point breakout to the D. It's called the BAM, the Bat Action Magnet Move. Couple more. What's up, Paris? Man, you really want to look at Litecoin? I'm there with you. What's going on up there in Orlando? Litecoin. That's not it. Litecoin, LTC, USD. Give me some crypto. There you go. Probably one of the more disappointing crypto. Hasn't done much. I'm still looking at it. You do have on the weekly, you're oversold. Also, okay, this happened last week, getting above the 50 move, okay. Then daily, do we have anything there? I don't have anything. Well, all right. You do have this. It's not ideal, but this deep crab at 61 came up, target 1, came all the way down for target 2. It's kind of stretched out. It's not really what I want to see. It's not that clean, but I would say generally under $60 is a big deal for Litecoin. but it's going to take a lot to move this out of the lows. I think this is not necessarily cemetery crypto, but you know, it's underperforming. Couple others, the SEI was like this. Where is it? SEI, yeah, weekly oversold. What about daily? That's not, SEI is nice. SEI is a type 2. There you go. Okay. We need to look at that further. 25 on the downside. Now 38. Amazing. Weekly. Yeah, that's oversold. You did check back. What about the 50 level? Oh, that's clearly out. Amplified, ready to accelerate. SEI, kids. How can we participate in that? Let's get on the next 4-hour dot, which is right here. And that should hold and continue. That would be a continuation right at 36. And we're going to have to adjust some things. One or two more. Amazing. Near protocol. Yep. Near protocol progresso. There you go. Yeah, see, this is happening fast now. That's why this week is so critical. Ever since Sunday night, things have started in earnest. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal. Weekly oversold, absolutely. And then the daily is a type 2 itself. Where is it? I thought I had a bat pattern here on near. Let me look. I'll come back to that. I thought I did have a bat down there, but we'll have to, you know, with all of these that are starting to come together, we got to look. What about where is it? Binance coin. Well, Bitcoin Cash. There's another one. Weekly, oversold. What about daily? So there you go. It's a bat pattern. 285 was the low and taking its time. But again, we come back to when can we expect anything? Well, when this happens. We're breaking above the 50. That started last week. The only thing I'd want to see with this, get back above the 50 there. Whole bunch of stuff, guys. I mean, it's remarkable. The position that we're in is almost identical to last year. What's up, Kat? Kat saying Prime. We haven't looked at that in a while. That's on my list. Oh, nice. Up 18. See? There you go. Why? So let's use these as examples. Okay? The 50 was all the way back here. That's your starting point. If we're looking for acceleration, dot, retest. That was 7:30, now 11. Well, here's where real acceleration can begin. That's big stuff. In Prime, I think they had, yeah, look, guys, look. Bat pattern. Give us the bat. Where do you go now? 13.58, target 1. So, you know, train's leaving the station, no doubt. Can't get out of here without a peek at Solana, right? It just, here's Solana, 147. Holding that. It is a type 2. It's a high level bat pattern, type 2. Weekly, oversold. Okay. Kind of reminds me of Bitcoin without the shark. These lows are massively important. And now, okay, can we get above the 50 for Solana? Like if you really want to see this thing move, we need to clear out that prior pivot, not private pivot, prior pivot, like that and that. But I like it. It's one in our portfolio. Stay with it. Getty, come on. I don't roll like that. I don't snub people. I'm not looking at the chat most of the time. What you want, my man? Getty, you've been active, snubbing me. And now I got to look at what you want. Kate, hey, what's going on? We'll get to your question in a second. Getty, how much for the software? Did you get the trial first? Get the trial, and then I'll send you an email with a discount. Getty, if you've got more questions, best thing is to catch me on the Discord and DM me. I usually get back to you. But sure, I'm open. I respond to people. But, just get over to the Discord or email me and just give me a day or so to get back to you. But also go through all the resource information. Neil says SUI is on the move. And wasn't that on the move last week? Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's SUI. Can't really help you there. Not anymore, except for to say use SUI as another example of what is taking shape here. Back here is where we cracked the 50 level. And so that was a few weeks ago. And then the first amplified was there. That was August. We're now a month later, and the price is being fulfilled. That's the way to think about that. Yes, please. James wants to look at Cosmos. I haven't really been too enthused about Cosmos for a long time because that was just sitting, really just sidelining. And look, okay, maybe now. Maybe this is a little bit better. I don't like the fact that Cosmos is at all-time new lows, but yeah, you've got a shark there. And you've made some progress, but it's not a trending crypto. At least the weekly's there. Daily, not so much. I think there's better crypto. And that's not to say this couldn't have a move up to target one, which is a double. So it's a pick and choose. I'd prefer BNB, or I'd prefer buying a Bitcoin than other things than that. What else? Drew wants to look at stacks, and those AI coins are set to run. Look, stacks, pattern, click, bat, yes, daily, weekly, what is it? Weekly's oversold, and it's a type 1 off the crab pattern. We should do the full return. I like it. I like it. And you got to like it. You got to like it where it is now. Maybe 6 weeks ago, it had a lot more work to do. But yeah, and where is it? Where's the other one? Where's Fetch AI? FET is it's picking it up fast. FET, I'm probably pretty dismissive on that. It's a big bat pattern approaching target 1. Maybe there's some other creatures that we could look at. AGIX, or no, not AGIX. What was it? Not API 3. There's a big bat, although I don't think that's the one I was thinking about. On a weekly, big pattern, yes. We're above the 50. Okay, API 3, not a bad spot. Not a bad spot. I mean, the self-fulfilling prophecy of the fall turnaround seems to be coming your way, no matter what. I think that's interesting. What up, Ox? Orty, we've done Orty. Orty's another one starting to take off. Orty like this, 34. 27 was the big number on Orty, but again, this is Sunday close for a lot of these could be where key in the door and open it up to go. You already have this. What about the daily? Yeah, Orty was 27. Bat 27. So, okay. I think there's a lot of things happening, guys. A lot of things that require attention in a way that a month ago, I would say we're still a little early, although they were turning. But, you know, you can see that these are happening. What was the other one? Aave. Aave seemed to be another one that started in June, July. Aave. Okay, there's a big bat pattern. This is what can happen. So grab the rest of these. Not too crazy the fact that that was all the way back down. But there's our weekly oversold daily pattern. So please use that recipe. And again, okay, as an example of what I've been saying of when these things are really, you can expect something to open up. There's dot confirmation. Gets above the 50 and breaks out. Price follows. Amplified. There's the dot. Breaks above the 50 and goes. A lot of these. Here's one for you. Alchemy Pay, one of the lesser known ones. Type 2 on the weekly. It's on Coinbase if you want. Type 2. Get above the 50 on Amplified. HSI's there. Check out your pattern. Okay. There, 165. Oof. Maybe it's happening sooner than I even thought. Maybe it is. 4 hour, give me something. Because at this point, I said this last week, once these set free, the only way you're going to be able to jump on these are 4 hour continuation signals like that. Maybe this one, for what was that? Yesterday. Remarkable. There's a lot going on here. Let's say the rest of them for Thursday. Okay. Listen, crypto people, get over to harmonictrader.com. Okay. Get the free 2-week trial. Send your TradingView username to HPC at SR-analyst. Get the 2-week. That's how you, and go through all your crypto, utilizing the patterns. Look for the stuff I've been mentioning here. Now, let's just wrap up really briefly on Kate wants to talk about QQQ and what was the other one, Kate? SPY? I just lost it. Somewhere in the chat, but I know you said QQQ and SPY. I think I can do it all in SPY. What's up, Hart? Hart's asking me, why don't I look at the month's largest gainer? Because I want to look at things that are in development. I prefer to look at things that are serving it up to you on a platter with the key figures and the key developments, not after the fact. I don't want to lead you guys into chasing this stuff. There's too much of that already. We need things that are presenting now that will respond. I mean, something like Aave, like we talked about that, versus Alchemy Pay. Now it's in position. But let's get to Kate's comments of QQQ and SPY. I think the SPY, there's a lot to talk about with SPY. Okay, and it's daily. We're or 4 hour. Okay, 4 hour, we're bucking up against this little dot thing. Not a big deal. That's HSI confirmation. The daily on SPY, all right, we did the 1-2. We did the 1-2. Type 1 down, came back for the 2. There was right here was the T2. That was the dot off the T2. This should have done a full move to target 2, but what happened? With that late August reversal into September, we hit a counter HSI signal. This is why I mix in the understanding of indicator extremes to kind of gauge how far the move can go. The pattern is a signpost framework of potential future price action. You still have to monitor it, gauge it. If the price action only gives you that type of reaction, especially with this, and a bullish dot at a high level, respect that. That's saying I'm not ready, or I want to go back up, or possibly even fail. But the thing with the SPY and this whole dang market is more about the weekly, this massive weekly or probably monthly level. The monthly shows it. Most beautiful structure in probably 15 years. I'm going to show you the last time we had a massive pattern like this on the monthly chart for SPY. Now you tell me, if that was a 5-minute chart, are you shorting that? Are you stepping in there? Please don't. Please no. I mean, we had a price reaction off the critical 1618. On the weekly, we got that counter HSI. That's probably a little easier to see. You had it right there. And now we're throwing it back into the zone. So 565, 561.48, that's the exact number. Sorry for that. But tell me what price action is there. You see any reversal bars? Do you see any yellow dot? Anything like that? No, not yet. I mean, we are retesting an important HSI level there. But what's going on here? Look at the weekly. Weekly is trying to push higher. We'll know by Thursday. We only need 1 or 2 days, 2 points, 3 points. That's nothing for the S&P 500 to then send that for a deep hop retest. So this week is critical to know, are we going to run to 600 sooner or later? Because that's what this is suggesting. And then the monthly is like this. Okay. Monthly, we've hit. What needs to happen? If I was going to get a yellow dot, because listen, on our way up here, we did hit an HSI overbought level, but that's only the starting point. We had to retest. We have not had a red month in 5 months. And you go back a year, we've had one red bearish month. We call that strength. And we call that preparing to overrun the initial zone and leading you up into this area. Ballpark it. It's not 561. And maybe it's not all the way to 618, but it's closer up here than 561. We would need literally 2 bearish months to set it off. So now let me kind of blow your brains here. Let's go back to 2007. Last time we had a massive bearish pattern. How interesting is that? Before the financial crisis, we had a perfect shark pattern on the monthly. Perfect. I didn't have the software. Not like this. I had a Harmonic analyzer, but we didn't have the shark. But in retrospect, the same patterns complete with similar properties to where massive run up into those key levels. There was the first confirmation. Check back. Then 1 and 2 red candles in the zone to turn on the dot. But even that wasn't that was like the penultimate, the sign before the final sign. What really sent that off? Well, we didn't get a breakdown in HSI. And I've been saying this on the top side for acceleration for a lot of your favorite crypto. And back in 2008, right there, we hit the dot, okay? And then we started the process of breaking down. It still took like 5 months before the crash, whatever that was, really took shape. And then even again on amplified RSI, look where that came in. Right here. So the acceleration, the marker of the acceleration wasn't until the 50 line was broken down. That's when you knew you really had something. I mean, if it was at this candle right there, pattern completes February of 07. The acceleration, that trigger, comes in 5 months later. Then you get the larger price response. It's a big deal. I've been talking to my group a lot about this on Discord. We're fine-tuning situations intraday, but it's a big concept that it works both ways, on the upside and downside, coming off of like some oversold readings. And conversely, you can say the same thing in the recovery. You know, massive '08 crash, completely manufactured in my opinion. Well, I won't get into that. But how do we know that it's over? Well, you get to the 50 and you go. And then where does it really accelerate? You get to the 50 and then you start that process. So that's like here. And then you start the serial march. These are monthly bars, kids. And that's years. I mean, that's years. Some of you probably were in high school from 2008 on the crash until, you know, it finally came out in '01, '02. Or some of you probably were even born back then. I don't know. Maybe not. That's a little, maybe we got some 16-year-olds. I don't know. 2007, 18-year-olds. But take note, okay? We're utilizing the same dynamics with this crypto cycle and market cycle, S&P. You don't fight the trend. You wait for those clear signals. People are calling for a crash, okay? People are calling for the end of the freaking world. Turn it off. I mean, it's easy to look, you know, it can look bad. Every time I'm forced to open that MSN page to access my old Hotmail account, Gates is flashing WW3 stories all over the place. It's designed to trigger you. Okay, my only concern are the markets. When I get the signals, and I'll let you know here, but when I get the signals that roll down under the 50 or amplified, comes all the way down, it would have to get to here before I can expect a major change or collapse or retracement. And we will be talking about this monthly pattern for a long time to come, because even in the worst case scenario, you're not going under target 2 ever again. Worst case scenario, you go back to 431. Okay, but you're nowhere near starting that process. You go back, go through history. I mean, I think it's great to see this type of repetitive price action to kind of build that experience to know where are those critical turning points. Because NASDAQ or QQQ, especially on the weekly, just set off a whole bunch of things. Let's get QQQ. QQQ. All right, here are the Qs. We're above the 50. Yes, we have a dot. I'd be looking at that. Okay, we're in a new uptrend channel. But have we crossed under the 50 line? That's monthly. It would have to come down and do this. Get back here. Qs. If we're looking for a change in the uptrend, that's the first thing that has to happen. Second thing that has to happen, come down, get below the 50 there. Folks, that's a lot of work before we can even consider that. I mean, there's nothing Nothing really to be gained by trying to jump in here. And I'll flip it on you. You guys know how loudly in 2022 I was saying this massive signal down here, the low of the decade is what I was saying. And why? We had a dot, we had confirmation, and then check out what happened here. We got above the 50 2 months after the dot, 3 months after the dot, accelerated, amplified RSI accelerates. On the flip side, those are the things that would have to happen to enter into some kind of larger correction, retracement, crash, whatever you want to say, end of the world. Sorry, not until we get down to those 50 levels. Okay. Meanwhile, the Qs and the NASDAQ futures are doing stuff on the weekly charts that we're seeing crypto do. Extreme high level amplified dot just completed last week. Then look what's happening here. 50 level breaking out. We get a strong close by Friday. You get amplified next week further to keep trending up higher. There's nothing here. You set yourself into what I think is a mad rush of another 1618 up to the top trend of the channel. Imagine that. It's like this, 1618, 550. And I posted some charts, some long-term charts. Maybe they come down over 382, and then you go again. Some people. I posted something on the SPY, and people are like, no way, why are you buying at the top of the market? Because there's continuation signals here. And I would change if we see this whole thing turn around on a dime and we were to break under, let's say this was to completely fail and we go back down like that, or we go like 50 level back down. All right, I'll be the first one to say, okay, probably going to take more time. Or, all right, looking for not this full 1618 extension just yet. But I'm going to argue that we're here. You go back where it's at. June, or come back here. Last November, we're there. Or here. Right there, amplified. Or back in June, okay? We're at a hell of a point within this uptrend. Can we all agree that this is an uptrend? Can we all agree that the money printer was turned back on? They refilled the ink cartridge and they're ready to do it again. And the dollar numbers are enormous. I don't get me started with the other macro situations, but war is inflationary and these folks do not want to stop it. As ugly as of a comment as that is, markets thrive on that shit. They really do. So you go with the trend. Trend is your friend since these lows in 2022. And there were a number of patterns, and we'll save this for Thursday. Okay, there's just so much here that I know it's not easy to look at this and say, well, we've come so far. Shouldn't we, isn't this too much? Not when you're generating signals like this. And we can truncate our date range, our perspective into like a 30-week time horizon. There's that 30 number again. And do it with crypto too. Go it from the prior high to there. Where's 30 weeks? 30 weeks. Oh, look at that. First week of February. How long have I been saying end of January? End of January. 30 weeks from that last inflection. End of January. That gives you an approximated window. Tell me what's happening within this window. Can we do it? Last thing I'll leave you with. All right. Can we connect dots? We sure can. X, August low, looks like a gift now. A, B is at a 786. C, That would be a butterfly because the 786 at the B point triggers the 127 reciprocal. So I'm going to just say this. If these continuation signals are a go, and they are, the structure is not a retracement pattern. It's an extension pattern. 524, 525. That's my target. That's what I'm looking for. And I think it's 6 weeks, 8 weeks, something like that. There's a lot here. I don't know, man. I see the comments. I see the comments. And guys, and we've heard it before. Listen, we thought all of that was going to happen when old what's-his-face rolled into Iraq. And boy, that was the biggest disappointment of my lifetime. I know people that went over there. Okay, and yeah, things could seem pretty ugly. But let's just stay focused on the markets. Please don't get sucked into it. A lot of people trying to play games on all of this to kind of distract you, gaslight you. And why are we here? We're here to analyze the markets, take advantage of the opportunity it presents us with measured levels, defining our plan, okay, so that we can create a freedom for ourselves. That's it. And harmonic pattern framework, I'll leave that there. And we'll come back, and over the next several weeks, we will analyze and see how it all turns out. But I just say, hey, if you're new, go look at stuff I was saying a year ago. Go look like last summer, classic reactive retracement. And people were saying, oh, this war is going to get worse and market's going to go down and so-and-so is an idiot. But we knew it was a reaction. The bigger picture is they're flooding money into these markets, and they have for years, and that's not stopping. The trend is clearly up, and until we get those concrete signals, don't fight the trend. With crypto, been waiting for this moment. For some coins, it started a couple of weeks ago. Others, it's starting right now. So jump in. Come on, join us on Thursday. That's what I have for today, folks. Hit like if you like what you saw. Hit subscribe if you want to get the notification. Come on over to harmonictrader.com and get your TradingView free trial, 2 weeks, HPC at sr-analyst.com. If you have any questions, contact me on the Discord. When you sign up for the trial, I'll throw you a discount code. Doesn't matter. Okay, beyond what I do here, I'm not bothering people with emails. I do my premium stuff, but only after people take the full trials. And the rest is up to you. Until next time.